and welcome back to Bugs Bunny Lost in Time on the Sony PlayStation. I am one wild sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be tackling the 1930s world with the first level in this world, the Big Bank Withdrawal, which is a pretty damn good stage, unlike the previous stage.
Let's get out of here, Mugsy.
Okay, boss.
And if it isn't obvious already, as you can probably guess, we are going to be dealing with Rocky and Mugsy during the course of this world. Every single world in the game basically has its own unique, dedicated main villain that Bugs is going to be dealing with. For example, you have Rocky and Mugsy in the 1930s, which makes sense because they are the gangster sort of Looney Tune characters. You have Yosemite Sam in the pirate years, which I guess kind of makes sense because I'm pretty certain I remember there being proper cartoons in Looney Tunes where Sam is a pirate, and unless I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty certain I remember that. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you have other characters later down the line too, which I'm not going to spoil just yet. I want it to be a bit of a surprise. But anyway, bit of a Simon Says puzzle going on here. We basically need to press the button in order to shine lights on each of these 4 panels, and then jump on the 4 panels in the same order the lights appear in order to basically in order to activate the door switch and unlock the door and unlock the golden carrots inside each of the cages. As you can tell, there's bones. As you can tell, there's a dog. Yeah, this dog here is he likes his bones. So chuck the bone to get the dog off your back, and you will be able to gain access to these golden carrots quite quickly. And you can jump on the dog as well, which is another method of taking him out, but it's a bit less. It stuns him for a less amount of time, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But now it's time to deal with good old Mugsy here. And Mugsy himself is a pretty easy boss mook to take care of. Well, he's not even really a boss. He's just sort of a mini boss, really. And we basically want to just take him out in order to get him out of our way. My personal advice is to crush him with these safes. This is the quickest way to take him out. It just annihilates him. Alternatively, you can run around him until he runs out of breath. But that takes a little bit longer, so I honestly do not recommend that method. So yeah, there is that. And as you can easily tell, I broke open the cage and got hold of a clock. There is 1 clock in each side of the room, and we basically need to use Rocky's bombs that he chucks at us in order to access these. So yeah, you gonna check the bombs there, Rocky? Gonna check the bomb? No? Come on, don't you want to check the bomb at me? Check the damn bombs! There we go. Yeah, sometimes you can take him a few minutes to decide whether he actually wants to chuck a bomb at you, but basically he's going to be chucking these at you, and you're going to want to try and get into the sides of the wall by here. But one thing that's kind of interesting about this stage is it does introduce a new gameplay mechanic that's going to be prevalent throughout the course of the game. Keys! I have nothing to add to that. Basically, it's keys, you know. Sometimes you have to do something to get a key. That key unlocks a door. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. You know, anybody who's played a Zelda game, anybody who's played a, any kind of game that has keys, and you know how these things work. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you just need to find some way to pick up the key. Like in this instance, stack up the crates, which I'm really getting sick and tired of doing by now. You know? So, yeah, it's pretty fun. The only thing you really need to watch out for, by the way, in this room is just those bombs, because otherwise there's no real threats really to deal with. Although I do believe the safes themselves will also land on your head if you stand on a shadow, so you might need to be a bit careful of that. But you know, it's pretty decent. This stage is pretty fun, all things considered, and unlike the previous stage, it doesn't really overstay its welcome. Like, I do stay in the stage longer than I should, but that's entirely of my own fault, you know, ladies and gentlemen, so, yeah. But yeah, anyway, these enemies in the in the plant pots, Jesus Christ. I'm good at English language, can't you tell? They will shoot at you every now and then, so what I advise doing is just hiding behind one of these plants in order to protect yourself from the gunfire. Yeah, I kind of like this enemy type. It's a bit different to deal with. You do need to think about, you need to think about what to do before you actually react to these guys, which I do appreciate. You know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, and the fact they're hiding in plant pots. It always confused me. Why are they in the plant pots? For what purpose do they have to stay in there other than to ambush us? Honestly, I have no idea why they're in these things. I mean, why would they be waiting for Bugs Bunny in particular? That makes no sense. I'm just a rabbit. But I digress. But anyway, you can just jump directly down onto the floor where the elevator just landed on after pushing that switch. But I'm going around here just double check everything. Because it is a collectathon game after all, and it is very likely that you are going to miss a collectible at some point or another. You know, this game isn't free from the, oh, I'm missing this one collectible, oh god, I have to search the entire stage syndrome that most of these things have, which is kind of annoying. But, yeah. Anyway, we're inside the bank itself on the upper floors, and from time to time we're going to come across these gigantic safes. Basically kick them for a number of free carrots. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you can kick them a number of times to get a number of carrots, which is pretty damn dope. And as you can tell, people will go behind doors. As you can probably guess by the ominous, not at all hinting symbol on doorway, these guys have golden carrots. We can't hurt these guys by traditional means. We can't hurt them just by hitting them. But, oh, look at that, a convenient TNT. I wonder if I can make use of this TNT somehow. Basically, you need to grab this TNT, chuck it at the doorways. It'll blow up the doorways and whatever mooks are in the doorways. And, what can I tell you? You can get golden carrots. Unless you're like me and you're an absolute idiot who wastes their opportunity. That was like nowhere near the door. Why did I chuck it that far away? Believe it or not, that just me failing to throw that just extended like another 2 minutes onto this playthrough. Like I said, I spend a bit more unnecessary time in the stage than need be. I went through the stage a lot slower than I would really want, which is a shame, to be perfectly honest. But as you can easily tell by that giant ominous, well, it's not even ominous, the door that we just walked past with the exit sign, that is where we're meant to go. That is where we are yearning to go next. And how do we get there? Well, we need to find the key, ladies and gentlemen, you know. Where is the key? Well, I'll be getting to that. It's not very far away at all. In fact, I could grab the key and get in that doorway within about 10, 20, 30 seconds. Truth be told. Why am I not doing that? Because obviously I'm collecting shit. It's a collectathon platformer. It's what I have to do. Well, I don't have to, but, you know, if I want to see the ending, it's probably best if I do this, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, alternatively, I could just turn the game off and just be all like, okay, I'm done with this playthrough. I'm done with this LP. Which I don't want to be, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Like on my old, on one of my older YouTube channels, I used to get into a bad habit of starting playthroughs and then never ever finishing them, and that's one thing I don't really want to start doing on this channel. So, yeah, I'm not turning this game off. I've started this LP now. I'm finishing this damn thing. If it kills me, we're only 4 parts in. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to be a tough one. This game's not a long game anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so, you know. I love that earth-shattering kaboom! See, I'm happy just because I can make that reference now and it's relevant because it's a Looney Tunes game. And it'll be especially more relevant later down the line. I'm very good at my foreshadowing, am I not? But anyway, as you can easily tell from these very obvious markings on the wardrobes here, you can push these these wardrobes out of the way to access doorways and what have you, which I'm going to be doing in a bit. But first things first, I want to take this guy out, and the best way to take this guy out is by speeding time up. Because, Jesus Christ, just be thankful I'm editing, folks. Honestly, the playthrough itself does become a lot smoother as I get on further into the playthrough itself. I start making less and less mistakes as I get used to things. But, yeah. Anyway, as you can easily guess, there is a vault right below there, and there's a hidden doorway if you decide to push this bookcase out of the way. Now, inside that hidden doorway, that is where the key that allows us to that's where the key that allows us to gain entry to the outside area, you know, to the end of this level is. So, just chuck a bomb at this, it'll take the guy out, and we'll have access to the key itself. Thank God for that. Hey, nice stinker. Seriously, it sucks to be that guy. He's just, ouch. Yeah, because that's what I would be saying after a TNT goes off in my face. Ouch. I'd be shocked if I have a face after that. But anyway, blow up this vault doorway and gain access into this room for a couple of golden carrots and an additional clock, which... There it is. It took a bit of a delay then to come down. Although I find I want to know what are these safes made out of for them to be blown up with basic TNT, because that can't be a good thing, having TNT to be, you know, having the safes being able to blow up by basic TNT. You'd think they'd have better security in a bank, you know? Well, I guess this is the 1930s, but... Actually, I say that, but wouldn't the banks still have pretty damn good vaults even back now? I don't know, I'm not very good with my history from this time period, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Most of my history knowledge comes from stuff like World War I and II, and I don't know bugger all about those. And some things about the medieval years, medieval age. I'm all about in terms of real history now as well, not in terms of game history, because game history is Bugs Bunny. As far as I can tell, we all live in a wacky universe where down is up in Bugs Bunny land, but I don't know. I'll admit I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and I say I know more about certain areas of history than others. I don't know much, because most of my history I forgot. It's been a long time since I went to school, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and I don't really have use for history knowledge, really, apart from maybe occasionally giving people trivia, which I never have a reason to do. But anyway, moving on over by here, this is quite an interesting mechanic. This is a safe. We're meant to push. We can't push it because it's too heavy, so whack the whack the safe to get the carrots out, and there we go. It is suddenly light enough for us to push across the floor. You know, this, I'm actually impressed by this. You don't even see stuff like this in games nowadays, where games are gotten a lot more realistic, quote unquote, and more advanced. It's quite an interesting idea that they never really bring back after this point. It's just, I don't know. It's realistic. I mean, it's a safe. If it's safe is full, you shouldn't be able to push it, you know, because it's gonna be heavy. Although I don't know how much weight 1 or 2 carrots could add, because carrots aren't exactly the heaviest things in the world, but I don't know, I'm playing as Bunny. I'm playing as a hare called Bugs Bunny, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, the security guard enemies by here are a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with, because their AI is a little wonky to work with, because they sort of wander about and do their own thing, and sometimes you can get around behind them to hurt them, and other times they will just stay on your tail and stick on your ass and shoot you with their gun. Sometimes. Other times they'll run into you like a doofus and get hurt themselves, so I don't know. But yeah, they're awkward, you know. Most of the enemies in this game is pretty damn awkward to deal with, I will be perfectly honest. In fact, I didn't even need to kill that guy. I just sort of wasted my own time by killing him. But, hey, I had to make sure he wasn't holding anything, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I got nothing else really to say apart from, hey Mugsy, what's up, bro? Surprised you're out here. Now Mugsy back here, he's just gonna wear himself out after chasing you for a little while, and you do want to hurt this guy. You do want to hurt him once, because otherwise you will not be able to gain access to the boss of the stage. Yes, there is a boss in the stage. And you will not be able to beat the stage, so just whack him whenever he runs out of breath, and follow him up to the roof, where we can deal with him and Rocky, and take them out. Although boss fights aren't the most common thing in this game, ladies and gentlemen, as you can probably guess by the very first level, we don't really usually have bosses at the end of every stage. It's only 1 or 2 stages that have proper boss battles to deal with, which I don't mind, you know. I don't mind the fact that they did sprinkle the boss fights around, and it's not a boss fight every now and then. Because they'd have to come up with a new way to do boss fights every single time, because none of these boss fights really follow a pattern. All of these boss battles are their own unique isolated thing where you need to do something in order to take out the boss, you know, which I appreciate. For example, right by here in this boss fight, we need to basically tire up Mugsy, then whack him. When Mugsy is hurt and stunned, we can then move on up to Rocky himself, and jump on his hat, which will inflict damage on him. You know, ladies and gentlemen, what can I tell you? And of course, you get a carrot every time you hurt Rocky as well, and a carrot will spawn by the air vent as well, which I do appreciate. Not that you really need the carrots, but hey, if you're trying to get all of the golden carrots, it might be handy to try and pick these up. And the reason why you need to take care of Mugsy before you go near Rocky is because if you don't hurt Mugsy before you try to go directly for the main guy with the main health, basically he will try and take pot shots at you and try to hurt you. So, yeah, basically you do need to hurt Mugsy first, otherwise you're going to be clipped. What can I tell you? And after every phase, after every time you hurt him, he will spin around in a circle and he will be doing his random shooty, well, it's not even random, he just shoots at you basically. But yeah, it's a good boss fight. It's pretty fun. Not the hardest thing in the world, not the easiest thing in the world. It's just right difficulty wise. Definitely not as interesting as say Pinstripe in Crash Bandicoot, but it's still a pretty good one and I like it. But that is it for this part, ladies and gentlemen, so with that, thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish people, and I'll catch you all next time as we take care of the next stage of the game, which is actually the first stage we will not be able to 100% in one go, which is going to be a bit annoying, so yeah, thanks for watching, see you after, don't be sheepish, I'll catch you all next time, bye!